Hey folks, what's up? This is your host, Master Vini MC. As always, it is a pleasure to have all of y'all here with me today. And yeah, so good forestry practice dictates that if you chop down a bunch of trees, you should replant them. And so rather than just replanting the one kind of tree, the oak tree, I replanted all three trees that I had here with me today. Just to, kind of mix things up a little. I'm getting so low on the dark wood in my stocks, and I'm getting low on the birch. Is it called birch? I think it's birch. Yeah, the white wood, the lighter color wood. But yeah, so today, or for the next couple episodes at least, I promised you guys a story. The sun's gonna go down in a few minutes. So yeah, before we begin that, I just want to let you guys know this is all the oak wood that we gathered. So that was pretty awesome. Is there like an extra? Yeah, there. We're gonna need these. Nab those. So cool. So today we are actually gonna run back into the nether. That's where I was just testing out a thing or two. I've done a decent amount of work off camera in the nether. So, we're going to show you guys something today I'm calling the gas cage. It's semi-self-explanatory. What I mean by that is that outside of this is my nether portal, obviously. And then this is the little like bunker that I kind of put it in so no gas balls can, just pop in here and hit it. And then out here, I've kind of reclaimed the nether a little bit. Normally the nether's kind of a wild and crazy place and very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Death waiting around every corner. But I've put up some protective fencing. This was very expensive on my iron resources. These are all iron bars. Cobblestone's cheap, but iron ain't cheap. The good part about this is that I could still see through. But ghasts can't shoot through, so that's awesome. And I could have used wood fencing or stone fencing, but stone fencing wouldn't have let me see through, and wood fencing would have burned. So iron fencing, it was very expensive, but I think very worth it. I pulled off some arches, kind of, even though the wall was uneven, and this is pretty cool. And out here we just kind of got like the bridge, which goes over. This is just half slabs for now. I'm thinking later on I want to go ahead and make this bridge a lot more like attractive, maybe kind of like make it a suspension bridge or something, or put like a little, I think I'm actually going to put an arch underneath it. I think that would look really cool. Just don't want the fire burning there, it's gross. Go away. Go away. So, and this is kind of a good look too. On the outside looking in, it kind of looks like a fortress. You know what I mean? Only built out of cobblestone. So, and I use cobblestone because it's a cheap resource and it's not going to explode. You know what I mean? Cool stuff. So, yeah, this is kind of the project I'm working on here. I'm trying to turn at least this little corner into like a little pocket of forest. Because I want to, when I come into the nether, and I want to spend some time in here, because like ghast hunting for resources, like I need a bunch of ghast tears, and they drop gunpowder too. They're not an efficient source of gunpowder, but I do want some of that. I want a ton of magma cubes, because I just want to get as many like fire resist potions as I can get my hands on. We're going to set up a huge place to like make potions by like en masse, just so many potions that your inventory won't even have room for them. But that'll come later. So before we do that, we need to have all of the space ready. We need to have all of the nether kind of safe for us to get in here. So one step at a time. We're reclaiming this from the wild denizens of the deep, of the nether itself. And in doing that, we gotta make the place look good. What are you doing, Zombo Pigman? Why can't I move? There we go. Now I can move. I think my wireless keyboard just falls asleep sometimes and just like, I don't want to move now more. There you go. So anyways, what I'm kind of doing is I'm going down one layer here. I put down some of this cobblestone before, just kind of seeing how it would look, and I decided it was way too gray in here. What I did definitely decide, besides it was way too gray, is that what I wanted to do was put in a forest. So there we are today. But before I can do that, and before I can feel safe about it, I want to have like at least one layer of cobblestone below all of this. And my reasoning behind this is that, like, if there was ever some kind of catastrophic explosion, or if I was ever doing any TNTing in there or anything like that, this layer of cobblestone will kind of act like, you know, bedrock below an actual map. It'll, you know, give me some layer of security that, you know, things won't entirely implode and just fall for forever. Just because the you know, the netherrack has a blast resistance of like piddly squat, you know, and that can get blown away so easily. What are we gonna do? So I've actually got a story, I think, that I want to tell you guys. Where I live in my part of the world, it's not uncommon. A lot of people heat their house with wood in the winter. And I feel kind of odd telling this story now, because it's like the middle of June. And it's like 110 degrees out. I'm like dying. I just want to turn up my air conditioner, but, you know, want to save some on electricity. And, well, long story short, it was December, and I was home on Christmas break. My younger brother was home on Christmas break, and the whole family's just kind of chilling out. It's just after Christmas one year. And it was my brother's turn, you know, because we heat the house with wood, to stay up and kind of watch the fire at night. We got a fire stove out in the living room, and that's, you know, what heats the whole house. And, you know, if you let that go out, then the house gets really cold. And it just so happens, like 2 or 3 days after Christmas here, it was like one of the coldest nights of like the whole year. And my brother fell asleep on the couch watching Family Guy or something, I don't know. One of them awesome shows. And, come on. There you go. I think it's because I'm like rendering, uploading, and playing all at the same time. My computer's just like, one thing at a time, sir. Patience. But I'm stressing it out, so whatever. I know it can do it. It's got enough RAM. I'm not worried about that. I'm also the only one on my internet right now. But anyways, I digress. I was talking about heating my house with wood. So when I say heating my house with wood, one of the things that it's like when I say that I live in New York, you know, it's like, where are you from? New York? Oh, really? How long does it take you to get to Broadway shows? About 4 hours. They're like, is Manhattan really that far? You know, like a lot of people just don't understand that, like, just because you live in New York doesn't mean that you live in New York City. Like, New York's a whole state outside of the city. You know, the city's only one part of it. It'd be like saying that I'm from Illinois and assuming that I live in Chicago. You know, Chicago is a city inside of the state of Illinois. It would be like, you know, saying that I'm from England and being like, so what's London like this time of year? And be like, I don't know. I might live nowheres near, you know, London. You know? I might live, you know, all the way to the north, you know, by like the Scottish border or something. But anyways, when I say that I heat my house with wood, it also doesn't mean that I'm like a lumberjack or anything. Because I get that too. Like, oh, you heat your house with wood. Oh, really? Do you like go out and chop down trees? And no. No, I do not do that. But I'll tell you what I do. I do call the firewood delivery man, because we have one of those around here, and he comes in a truck and drops it off. And then, you heat your house with it. So it's kind of like an oil delivery man or anything like that. We pay some money, somebody shows up, they got a truck, they dump it off, and that's what we use to heat our house with. And it's pretty cost effective. So a lot of people in my area do it. So one year, like I said, a couple days after Christmas, my brother falls asleep on the couch. And as you can imagine, the house got really cold because, he let the fire go out in the stove. So no fire, cold house. Now, you may or may not know this, but one of the things that happens when your house gets cold is you run the risk of your pipes freezing. Because, when pipes get cold, the water inside them freezes. When water freezes, it expands. Water expands, your pipes crack. That's not good. So, I'm half asleep, still in my room. It's a few days after Christmas. So, I'm still totally in vacation mode, totally sleeping in. And, I hear my dad yelling at my brother down in the living room. He's like, I can't believe you let the fire go out. You better hope nothing didn't happen. I gotta explain a little bit here. My father, to explain him the best way possible would be that he is the love child of John Wayne and King Kong. Yes, you heard that correctly. The love child of John Wayne and King Kong. I love him to death. He is my dad, and I wouldn't change it. But he's a big guy like me. 6 foot. We're both 6'4". We're both around 250 pounds. So we're big boys. Runs in the family. So is my little brother. I call him my little brother. He's like the same height as me, even though he's a few years younger. So my dad got a little bit of a temper, and not like a bad temper. He's like what's the phrase? His bark is worse than his bite. You know what I mean? He likes to hoot and holler when he gets angry, and he actually kind of sounds like that. Sounds like a constipated Swedish chef. I never explained it like that before, but that's kind of funny. Now that I mention it, that's kind of what he sounds like. So me dark slacks. I'm gonna quit now before this gets bad. So my dad is obviously very upset because it's a big concern that the fire went out. So they start a new one. They get it going again, and my brother's like, I promise I'll never let it go out again. Okay, fine, it's good. You learned your lesson. Good boy. So we think nothing of it. We're like, everything's probably fine. Everything's good. Whatever. That's life is good. So we get to eating brunch a few hours later, and my mom's like, okay, it's time to do the dishes, boys. We're like, yes, Mom. So he gets to washing the dishes. And lo and behold, we go to turn on the sink to wash the dishes, and there ain't no water pressure. You can turn that sink on, but there's no water coming out of that sinkhole. So I looked at my brother. My brother looks at me and says, there ain't no water coming out of the sink. You know what that means, right? It means you're in trouble. You're going to die. Dad's going to kill you. So Dad's like, oh, well, that's probably a problem with the pipes. Probably because you let the fire go out there. So, Skippy, tell you what, you gotta go get a flashlight and go dress up all nice warm because, it's snowing outside. It's the middle of December. And you're going underneath the house to see if the pipes broke. My brother looks like somebody just, told him his dog was lost. And he goes and gets a flashlight like he's supposed to. And we get outside, and there's so much snow on the ground that we had to get a snow shovel and dig snow away from the outside of the house to move the boards and stuff to get underneath the house. It was a whole process, you know what I mean? And I wasn't having nothing of it. I was like, this is This is ridiculous. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna laugh while you gotta crawl underneath there because you know you're the one that did it all wrong. And so they get underneath there and there's water spraying all. I mean, you could hear it like the minute you walked out on the porch. It was just. And we're like, oh, this is gonna be bad. So we're underneath there and it's cold and it's wet and you know I got dragged in to help anyways, even though I wanted to sit back and laugh. You know, because my dad's got a bad back, so you know it's not like we're gonna make him do all the work. You know, we're the young boys in the family. So young boys, we're the only boys in the family. So you know, we're gonna get underneath there and do what we gotta do. You know, to help it out. So you know, water's spraying all over the place, and I'm freezing. And we finally get it fixed. You know, all said and done, and lo and behold, you know, whoa, what was that? Oh, I like this guy. This guy's gonna give me not what I want because I don't have a thing to kill him. I saw this out of the corner of my eye and it just scared the crap out of me, I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm gonna have to kill my Bobo. Where was I? Oh yeah, so pipe frozen, water frozen, I'm frozen, everything's frozen. And my brother had to go underneath there and hold it and fix it. And so that was the story of us finding out where the water shutoff valve was. Because this was, I don't think at that point we'd need to know where it was. Like we'd never had an accident or anything. Like if you move into a new house, you know, one of the first things that you should do is you should find out where all the shutoffs are. So like the electric like panel in case like there's a breaker or something that goes out, or you know, water shutoff and all that stuff. But like we never thought about it up until that point. So this was like totally, you know, like well, this sucks. Now what do we do? You ain't gonna grow here, are you? If I get rid of a few more of these. You know, we definitely hadn't planned for this. So we learned real quick. We actually had the pipes bust on us probably 2 or 3 more times while we were living in that house. Just, you know, because like even with the furnace running, sometimes it gets cold. And the joints underneath the pipes in the house, like they're kind of cheaply made, you know. So there's something like they do fall apart, you know. They do get a little wear and tear on them. So there we go. I knew I could get a tree out of there. So I'm starting to like the way that this looks. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Come on, grow for me, baby. That's really awesome. That is really great. I also like the mushrooms over here. I think we might do something with some mushroom farms. I actually like, that's a really good point. Can I grow a mushroom? It might be too much light over here. Let me see if I can plant it. Like right, that's probably too much light. So if I like take out this and this, and then, oh, that looks so cool. I think that looks great. Like just kind of forest, and then all of a sudden, boom, big mushroom. That's sweet. All right, guys, let me know what you think about the story, and let me know what you think you would have done if you wake up in the middle of December and you know you got a pipe going underneath there. Would you have called a plumber, or would you have gone under and fixed it yourself? I mean, some people, you know, don't have the knowledge to do that, but you know, my family's filled with handymen, so we can just kind of like boom, da bang, you know, put it together and fix it. Or would you, you know, have frozen all night or something like that? Or maybe you would have been smart and just, you know, put the wood on the fire and not have to worry about it. You know, that's what I would have done. Crap don't happen when I'm on watch. You know, that's my brother. He screwed up. You done screwed up? Done screwed up, boy. Gotta pay the piper. But, so let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you guys think about my little gas cage here in the nether. You think it's a good idea? You're going to build one of your own? What sort of decorations do we put in here? Keep in mind, while we're trying to make this place look good, I can't put any fountains, water. You know, you can't put water in the nether. So unfortunately, I can't have any water features. Otherwise, I'd put in something nice like that. But aside from that, we could pretty much do or grow anything. I got lots of bone meal. because of the skeleton spawner. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, if you like the episode, go ahead and leave me a like, show me a little support, subscribe, share this to your friends, and I will catch you guys in the future.